one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the program is because I do think you set an amazing example of somebody who, I mean, you've achieved huge success, you've probably got bazillions of dollars, and yet you continue to put yourself in precarious situations where you could completely fail, where you could completely embarrass yourself. But I think that's an amazing thing.
Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, thank you. Having a low shame barrier, yes. But I do, you know, I mean,
you were in Equus.
I was in Equus.
And you were naked on stage.
Which was, again, not a huge amount of fun, but there you go. But, you know...
Did you worry about showing the bait and tackle?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Who wouldn't? Like, that's the thing, I'm sick and tired of hearing actors harp on about how liberating being nude is. Like, it's
not
just
liberating.
Not. Like, there's nothing fun about it. When you look into the first row, 10 minutes into a performance, and you see a gorgeous girl sitting there and think, in an hour and a half, she's going to have seen everything. There is nothing fun about that.
It's also cold on stage, isn't it?
It is also cold on stage.
Yeah, see, that's what I would worry about the most.
I sort of look down and I see a woman, and then I'll be like, you know, I would have made a bit more of a show of myself.
Did you ever want to put a disclaimer up saying it's quite cold on stage?
It's quite cold on stage. No, I mean, my main thing was I just would want to say to these people I'd see in the audience, you know, if I'd known you were going to be here, you know, Brooke Shields came in one day, and I was like, if I knew you were going to be here, I would have made a bit more of a show of myself. Like, I don't know.
You're performing right now on Broadway in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Listening to your damn voice.
Which, yes,
night.
In my house, this is known as my Broadway show.
Yeah, absolutely. And rightly so.
So what does it feel like to star with me?
You're by far our most consistent performer.
Yeah, well, you probably don't know this, but I actually do the voice of the narrator in How to Succeed in Business. Just want to show you some of my work, my best work.
I think we should.
You are working in the mailroom. One word of caution about the mailroom. It is a place out of which you must get. This is my big Broadway debut. You know, I never expected to do something like this, and when I got the call, I was thrilled, and you know, it just seemed like a really fun, interesting thing, and I'm a big fan of Daniel, so I said, why not?
So, yeah. But it's funny, when I came to see the show, and first of all, it's surreal to hear your own voice. I hate my voice. But also, in the intermission, I was like online for, you know, Jujubes or whatever it was, and people were like, oh, your voice is doing great. You're going backstage? Like, they thought I was doing it every night. I'm like, I actually have a job.
There was something, yeah. There are some things people just that I was amazed by the fact that I was asked when I was doing Equus, and by journalists, not by just random people who didn't know the show, by journalists.
Well, journalists are random people who don't know the show either, so.
But who ostensibly should have, you know, presumably done research and all that stuff, and they said, so do you use real horses? For anyone who knows the play, I blind 6 horses in the show. So we'd be not only would we be coping with a lot of manure on stage, there would also be the fact that I blind 6 of them every night. So I'm kind of always amazed by the perception of what people think actually goes into it.
Yeah, how it actually...
we can't do that.
But I mean, again, it gets to my point of you trying new things. Did you know you could sing and dance?
I can sing a bit. Like I knew I could. You
can sing more than a bit. You're starting in a Broadway musical.
No, I mean, I can carry a tune, and I could get my voice into a place that, you know, I don't have like an amazing, big, powerful voice. I have a voice that can, you know, do 8 performances a week effectively and sing the show I need to, and that's what I want out of it. And I can sing it safely and comfortably without hurting myself.
But I found myself humming tunes from the song, from the show afterward.
Absolutely, good. So you should. Absolutely, that's the sign of a good musical. If you don't go away humming at least one song, it's been a failure of an evening. So I mean, in terms of pushing myself and doing other stuff, I do think it's important because I think it's about people who, you know, you have to show that you want to take this seriously and that you don't just want to go along for an easy ride and rest on your laurels. And I think if money were a motivating factor for me, that would be a problem.